Participating in a club organization or honor society is a great way to meet peers and become more a part of student community here at South University online programs. The organizations we are showcasing tonight are virtual chapters, which means all of the activities for these occur online. Through webinars and participating in the connections pages, this makes it easy and convenient for our students to engage. My name is Kim Bevington, and I am the Quality Enhancement Plan QEP Academic Success Center Supervisor. I am excited to be with you tonight, and I am glad to introduce you to some of our student community faculty advisors. Many of the organizations we are going to talk about tonight have membership application deadlines coming up. Pay attention to the dates for applications and visit connections pages for current information. If you are new to Connections Student Community, each of these organizations have a page in Connections where we will post announcements, blogs, and any important information pertaining to that specific organization. Our agenda for this evening is to review some of the student organizations, honor societies, student groups, and career readiness opportunities available to our students. Tonight we have with us Dr. Christine Empey, Dr. Lori Kepford, Dr. Shreya Krishnamurthy, and Dr. Natalie Rushka. This event takes place twice a year. Please take advantage of our time together and ask questions of our faculty advisors. Use the question box on the webinar sidebar. We will allow time at the end for any questions. This is an overview of the associations, societies, and student groups we will be discussing this evening. I mentioned we will have a couple of polls this evening. We are going to have our first one now. I will give everyone about 15 seconds to respond. Game of Thrones or Walking Dead? Okay, we've had 81% of our attendees respond. So we're going to go ahead and close the poll. With 60% Walking Dead and 40% Game of Thrones. Okay, for our first organization, I would like to introduce Dr. Lori Kepford, Assistant Program Director of the Criminal Justice Program and one of our faculty advisors for the American Criminal Justice Association. Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight.
Hi there. It's my pleasure to join the group. Hello to everyone. Can you hear me? I'm hoping everyone can.
And yes, students are answering and they can hear you.
Yay. Well, I'm Lori Kepford, and I've been with South University for coming on 10 years, and I primarily teach in the graduate program, but sometimes I do have some classes in the undergrad. But together with April Campbell, we are the advisors for the American Criminal Justice Association. In order to be enrolled in the American Criminal Justice Association, or at least be a member of it, you have to be enrolled in a criminal justice program or at least have taken a criminal justice class. Members get different benefits for being part of the American Criminal Justice Association. As you can see on the slide that membership in the ACJA has quite a few benefits. I really like the opportunity to be able to read the national journals and newsletters. At least that keeps us involved as students in our chosen field right away. Job information is also a great perk of that. And remember, when you come upon graduation, there are specific medallions or medals that you could purchase to signify your membership in ACJA. Applications are accepted twice a year in the ACJA. The first application deadline for this year is September 30th. You can send your applications to Kim for review, and she'll take care of all of that. Please note the fees that are required for that. When you first join, there will be an initiation fee, and that's a fee of $40. And then every year after that, if you still remain as a member of the ACJA, you are required to submit a due of $30 every year. Now you want to keep track of this slide in particular because there are some important dates to note. As I said, the fall membership application is due by September 30th. And with that, there will be an induction ceremony, and that's November 16th. And that is a very important ceremony that will take place online, and several people are involved in that, and it's a really cool experience. The scholarship application deadline is December 31st, and another cool thing about ACJA is that they have conferences. Now, it depends on the region of the country where you live, which will dictate the regional conference, so that's why we don't have the dates on this slide. You can go to the ACJA site and pay attention to your region and see when your regional conference would be. But there is a national conference in Austin, Texas, March 26th through 31st, and those are always really cool too.
Thank you, Dr. Kepford, for joining us and sharing that information with us. And as I mentioned earlier, we'll be taking questions at the end of the presentation. Next, I'd like to introduce Dr. Christine Empey. She's our Assistant Program Director with the Criminal Justice Program, and she's here to share some information with us on Alpha Phi Sigma. Mu Lota is our local chapter name, and this is our Criminal Justice Honor Society.
Hi, everyone. Kim, can you hear me okay?
I can.
Great. All right. Well, welcome, everybody. I'm one of the advisors for Alpha Phi Sigma, along with Dr. Lori Ronan-Casali. I'm currently an Assistant Program Director, and I've been here about 10 years. Dr. Lori Ronan-Casali is our chairperson, and she oversees everything revolving around the master's program as well as the undergraduate program. Now, Alpha Phi Sigma has been around a long time, going on 75 years next year. They're also affiliated with ACJS, or the Academy of Criminal Justice Sciences, which Dr. Kepford just alluded to, and her suggestion about attending or being involved in ACJS and the conferences is great. So if you happen to be in that area this March, that would be a really neat thing to attend. You can get a student rate, which makes it a little more economical, and they do rotate the conferences every year to a different part of the country. So if you're not in Texas, and maybe next year it'll be in California, it's a great opportunity. So I highly recommend doing that. Now, Alpha Phi Sigma has a component with GPA because it is an honor society. So if you're planning on applying, please be sure to check your GPA so that you know that you've met that minimum requirement. So as you see on the slide here, if you're an undergraduate student, you're going to have needed to complete the 4 courses in criminal justice, as well as have a GPA of a 3.2. If you're a graduate student in our MCJ program, you're going to need to have completed 4 courses as well, but your GPA requirement is a little higher. It's going to be a 3.4. So that's going to be key in order to join this society. Now, if you want more information, of course, go to Connections, or I recommend going directly to the national website, which is alpha-phi-sigma.org. They're going to have a lot of information as well as other, activities that might be going on. And again, they're going to vary different times of years and places. As far as the membership fee, it's a $50 fee, and it's a lifetime membership. And as far as the application process, you can get all of that information in Connections, and that's coming up. The due date for applications is September 30th. So if you're interested, please be sure to apply. Now, we're also going to be having an induction ceremony, and that's coming up November 9th. And again, that's a fun activity as well. So I hope for all of you that are interested in joining that you definitely attend that induction ceremony. And if you have any questions or anything in the future, you can always contact either myself or, as I mentioned, Dr. Lori Ronan-Casali, or contact Kim Bevington.
Thank you, Dr. MB, for that good information on Alpha Phi Sigma. Next, we're going to move to the Association of Computing Machinery, otherwise known as ACM. ACM stands for Association of Computing Machinery. It's an organization for both IT majors and anyone interested in current events in technology. Dr. Tom Gillespie is our current faculty advisor for ACM. You can stop by the ACM page on Connections to meet him. There are two tiers of membership, one at the national level and one at the local level at South University online programs. There are a lot of nice resources available at the national level, and at the local level you'll find leadership opportunities, and there is a fall and spring webinar series. Those events are posted in the Connections sites. Some examples of events that have been held in the past is how to network based on your personality traits, specific data analysis, creative branding, personal interest, or professional perspective. These are all great networking opportunities. If you're interested in joining ACM, join at the national level at acm.org. There's an option for a student membership, which is $19 a year, or $42 includes an extensive library and certification testing resources. If you're someone who's interested in getting certified in various IT certifications, that will be advantageous for you. Once you have joined at the national level, send your membership information through Connections to Dr. Tom Gillespie. Okay, we're going to have our second poll now. Pittsburgh Steelers or Dallas Cowboys? Okay, we're just about up to 80% respondents, so we're going to close the poll. And it looks like Dallas Cowboys just beats out our Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay, we're going to move on to Delta Mu Delta. This is our Business Honor Society, and I'm glad to welcome Dr. Shreya Krishnamurthy. She's our faculty advisor for DMD.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Student Activities Night. My name is Shreya Krishnamurthy, and I am an Assistant Program Director and a full-time faculty member with the Department of Healthcare Management in the College of Business. Delta Mu Delta is an internationally recognized business honor society. The society not only recognizes student accomplishments, but also works to connect students with a large community of business professionals. Tonight, we will cover some of the specific benefits of membership as well as requirements for eligibility. All new members receive a key pin that they can wear on the lapel of a suit coat or a dress to demonstrate membership, as well as a certificate for display. For those who are participating in graduation, there's also an honors stole that can be worn over the shoulders of a graduation gown to demonstrate membership. As a member of Delta Mu Delta, you will join over 150,000 members spread across the globe in a variety of industries. Members may also be eligible for scholarship opportunities, and these will be independent of any scholarships promoted by South University Online. The DMD also produces a biannual e-newsletter called Vision, and that will cover chapter news from around the world and current business issues. And all new members will receive a subscription to Bloomberg Business Week for 1 year. And finally, through our DMD at South University Online, we plan to hold regular meetings and invite business leaders from the school and community to attend as speakers. This helps to demonstrate our commitment to you as upcoming business professionals. Each fall and spring, students who meet the requirements of Delta Mu Delta will be invited to join the organization and participate in an official induction ceremony. It's important to note that only some of the programs at South University Online are eligible, and there are minimum grade point average requirements to join. This is an elite group of students who have reached a high academic bar and demonstrated their commitment to the business community. Our application cycle for the fall is going to have a deadline of October 14th of this year, and our induction ceremony will be held on November 29th of this year. There is a one-time lifetime membership fee of $80, and that will take care of all the dues for the entirety of your membership. If you have any other questions about Delta Mu Delta or any of the information presented here this evening, please feel free to reach out to me or to Kim Bevington. Thank you, and have a wonderful night.
Thank you, Dr. Krishnamurthy, for sharing that information with us. Next, we're going to review Lambda, Epsilon, Chi, or otherwise known as LEX. This is our Paralegal Honor Society. For those of you that are paralegal students, we have Lambda, Epsilon, Chi. Doris Rachel is our faculty advisor for this society. Inductions are held once a year, closer to graduation in June. To qualify, inductees must have a 3.5 GPA or higher. You want to watch for the applications and connections in the spring. If you have any questions, you can visit the website at aaspe.org or visit the LEX page in connections, or reach out to myself or Doris Rachel. Next, we have the National Society of Collegiate Scholars, or NSCS. The National Society of Collegiate Scholars is an honors organization that recognizes and elevates high achievers at the undergraduate level. As a member of the NSCS, it will provide career and graduate school connections, leadership and service opportunities, scholarships, annual conferences, and academic programs. Who can join? First and second year college students with a 3.4 GPA or higher. Invitations will go out September 30th, and this induction ceremony will be held on November 28th. There's a lifetime membership fee of $95. And why should you join? Of course, to build your network, offer service, scholarships, benefits, and more. If you have additional questions, Dr. Arjan Sadwani is our faculty advisor. You can either reach out to him and, of course, to myself. Okay, it's time for our third poll. Sweet tea or unsweetened tea? That was an easy one. We're up to 80% respondents already. We'll close the poll. 87% sweet tea, 13% unsweet tea. Very good. Thank you for participating. All right, we're going to go on to the National Technical Honor Society. This is an honor society for students in the technical field. Technical education is a very broad term. It refers to a program that is geared toward a particular trade. Examples would be nursing. I apologize, I didn't hide that for you. You can see the screen. Examples would be nursing or other medical and health services fields, business and administration, human resource management, and the public administration and legal fields. You will find a list of careers on the last page of the NTHS application, and you'll be able to confirm that you're in a field that will fit the National Technical Honor Society. So how do you become a member? Applicants must complete 12 credits in their program before applying. Full and part-time students are able to apply as long as they have a 3-point GPA or better. There is a membership fee of $30. September 30th is when the applications will go out. They'll be due by October 14th, and then the induction ceremony will be on November 22nd. For more information, visit the Connections page, the National Technical Honor Society Connections page, and of course, reach out to me if you have additional questions. The next society we're going to review is Sigma Theta Tau International. Our local chapter is called Phi Kappa chapter. This is our nursing honor society. So the mission of the Honor Society of Nursing, Sigma Theta Tau International, is advancing world health and celebrating nursing excellence in scholarship, leadership, and service. Our faculty advisors are Dr. Brenda Rigsby and Dr. Claire Mays. I didn't want to do that. Hold on one second. There we go. So the eligibility criteria, undergraduate students must have completed half of the nursing curriculum, achieve a 3.0 GPA, rank in the top 35% of their class, and meet the expectation of academic integrity. Our master's students must have completed a quarter of the nursing curriculum, achieve a 3.5 GPA, and meet the expectation of academic integrity. Invitations for this society go out twice a year, in December and in May, and there's a membership fee of $94.50. Any communication for this honor society will be coming from Dr. Rigsby or Dr. Mays. And next we have our online volunteers group. And I'd like to introduce Dr. Natalie Rushka, and she is our faculty advisor for this group, and she'll share some information with us.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, welcome everyone, and you might be happy to hear that this club has no fees, applications, or requirements from you. You don't have to do anything, but we are here. We are a Connections Club. You can find us under Organizations, and in the Online Volunteers Club, you will find out about volunteer opportunities, resources, volunteer stories from faculty or students, anyone, information about any contests we might be having, events, and you can talk to students who might be interested in volunteering together or just talking about a project. So I encourage you to stop by and introduce yourself. Let us know about your experiences volunteering if you're interested or if you just want to learn more about it. Okay, next slide, please. And a little about me. I have been the club advisor for a few years now, and I'm actually a lifelong volunteer for different organizations, but discovered about 10 years ago, the option to volunteer online. I don't know if any of you have done this, but it's extremely convenient and flexible, especially for the online student. It's relevant to you. And there are a lot of benefits to volunteering in general for your health, for your career, for your own personal skills and networking. And on the right here, I have a little box that lists just a few of the online volunteer opportunities I've seen available. But if you join us at our next informational meeting on September 26th at 4, I will be more specific about telling you where you can find your dream volunteer position, which might be important as you're in your degree program, because you do want to be not only adding to your resume and your references, but perhaps building some experience in your field in a less serious environment. Maybe trying new positions as a volunteer will be a little kind of introduction to what you would like in your career. Okay, next slide. If you have any questions in the meantime, feel free to contact me. My email is right there, and also you can message me through the South Connections. If you want to be more involved, like a moderator for our club, you can also let me know about that. And also I've got some resources to help you get started on the lower left there. It's kind of challenging to read, but if you go to volunteermatch.org or idealist.org, onlinevolunteering.org, or helpfromhome.org, any of those links, you can start finding online volunteering positions. And I'd love to hear what you're thinking about, if you've tried these, if you're thinking about it, anything like that. So contact me, go to the meeting, any of this, and thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Dr. Rushka, for sharing that information with us. To go on to our next poll. Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts? Okay, we're going to go ahead and close the poll. Starbucks wins by a landslide. And that leads us right into our next group, which is the virtual coffee shop. This is our BYOC virtual coffee shop. Bring your own coffee. It can be found under the Departments tab in the Connections site. Feel free to stop by and join our virtual coffee shop. This is a virtual meeting space where first-year undergraduate students can meet upperclassmen, faculty, and staff in order to share experiences and resources. This is a great way to start your network, build a support group, and develop career readiness, knowledge, and skills. Our co-curricular events. You want to make it a habit to check your student events calendar regularly. I will always post on there what events are happening that will be hosted in the same type of format that tonight's event is being hosted. Here's an example of some of the events that have been hosted in the past. Professional communications in the workplace, civilian careers in law enforcement, and a day in the life of the DMT. So always just pay attention to those events. It may be something that will help you make a decision on your career path or help you be more successful within your classes. These events are part of our Keeping It Real Classroom to Career Quality Enhancement Plan. And again, events are usually presented in a webinar format, and they are recorded and then posted on our YouTube site so that there is access, always easy access. This is our Keeping It Real Classroom to Career Badgefolio, Career Readiness Certification Program. All students have the opportunity to participate in this program. Students can earn 11 virtual badges by completing corresponding exercises. The exercises include a personality assessment, 3 career reflection badges that coordinate with career-related classroom assignments, 3 career experience badges, These involve participation in career-related events that take place outside the classroom, such as the events that we just talked about in the last slide. The career planning badges are resume writing, career exploration, networking, and finally a job search badge. The skills this program helps to develop are critical thinking, oral and written communication, teamwork, leadership, professional skills. You can see them all listed there. Students will receive a pin in the mail as they complete each badge, signifying the accomplishment. Upon completion of all 11 badges, students will receive a career readiness certificate in the mail and recognition on their transcript of completing the program. Students will also have the opportunity to build an e-portfolio. Okay, it's time for our last poll. Georgia Bulldogs or Florida Gators? Oh boy, it's going to be close. All right, anyone else? We close the poll. Georgia Bulldogs just beat out the Florida Gators. Okay, so where do you get started? You probably have seen this banner on your Campus Common, the Connections banner. Student portal homepage. This is the access point for all of the student community organizations, groups, and department pages that we have reviewed this evening. You can also use Connections to network with fellow students. Once you click on this banner, if it's your first time logging in, it will ask you to set up a profile. This is the Central Student Community page. If you look across the top, you'll see the Departments tab, Organizations tab, Lounge tab, and Connect. Many of the academic-specific student groups, along with the virtual coffee shop, can be found under the Departments tab. And under the Organizations tab, you can find honor societies and groups such as ACM and online volunteers. Click any of these groups and get started. At this time, I'd like to open it up to questions. If you have any questions, please type them in the question box on the sidebar. And I know we had a couple come in already. Let me take a look here. One of the questions, and maybe one of our faculty advisors can answer this question, to join one of the societies, for the most part, the GPA requirement is either a 3.0 or a 3.4 to join. My question is it required that the GPA be maintained at that same level or better? I haven't run into that situation before. Do either any of our faculty advisors know the answer to that question?
Kim, this is Dr. Empey. I think with the honor societies, if there's a GPA requirement, now I'd have to double check this for each one. There might be a different answer depending on the group. But I think generally speaking, your overall GPA, you need to maintain that. But we need to check specific groups. So, for example, if you're interested in any of the groups, just go to the, I would go to the home page for that organization and check that. But I do not know individually each group. But that would be my best advice.
Helpful. I'll research that, and if I find the specific answers, I'll post them on the connections pages. If you have a question about a specific organization or society, you can contact me directly, and I'll investigate it for you. One of the other questions is, would it be possible to send the slides to participants? Yes, all participants will receive this presentation. Anyone registered will receive it. How can I go about getting the keeping it real? If you're referring to the badge folio, there's a student portal button right on your campus common down near the library that you can click on to log in. But if you want to contact me directly, I can walk you through getting started with that program and launch you the first badge. Can you be a member of multiple organizations? I believe you can, as long as you meet the requirements for that specific organization. One question is, where do you get the badges in a career? I typically launch the badges, so if you want to reach out to me, we'll communicate about what badge would be best for you to get started with. Is Phi Kappa fee annual or lifetime? The Phi Kappa fee is $94.50 yearly, and then there's $69.50, I believe, is the annual fee after that, after your initial fee. But again, you can get further detailed information on our connection site or contact me directly, and I'll research that question for you. Okay, we have a ton of questions coming in. For time purposes, I'm going to end the presentation this evening, but I do have a record of all of the questions. So I will probably compile something so that everybody has access to it and put it into the connection site, and I will email everybody to let them know where to find that information. I'd like to thank everybody for attending this evening. Thank you for participating in the polls. And I'd like to thank our faculty advisors for joining us this evening. I want to wish everybody a great evening.